Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wealthy Life, a channel for your personal growth, awakening, and financial wisdom. Why is it that those with the deepest strength often speak the softest? Why we find that the most powerful leaders, the most successful creators, and the wisest minds rarely boast, but instead radiate calm, grace, and humility. This is not a coincidence. It's the essence of a powerful principle rooted in thousands of years of wisdom. Great virtue carries all things. A classic line from the ancient Chinese text I Ching. This phrase isn't just poetic, it's practical. And perhaps more than ever, it's necessary in our fast, loud, self-promotional world. What does great virtue carries all things really mean? At its core, this phrase speaks to the idea that only those with deep moral character and inner strength can bear great responsibilities or achievements. The analogy is simple. If the earth can hold all things because of its vastness and quiet strength, so too can a person with great virtue bear the weight of power, success, and adversity without collapse. But in a society driven by likes, virality, and quick wins, isn't humility outdated? Why does arrogance often come before the fall? Consider this. Why do arrogant CEOs get ousted while quiet builders last decades? Why do self-absorbed celebrities burn out, while those who stay grounded gain lasting respect? The answer lies in character. Without virtue, success is a house built on sand. History offers endless examples of individuals who rose quickly only to fall because they couldn't sustain the weight of success without the foundation of humility. Take Enron, a classic corporate tale of ego over ethics. At its peak, Enron was a darling of Wall Street, but beneath the flashy numbers and public image was a rod of dishonesty and hubris. It wasn't a lack of intelligence that brought the company down. It was a lack of moral foundation. Let me share you the stories from history on the power of quiet strength. Let's go back in time. George Washington, the first president of the United States, had every opportunity to make himself a king. In fact, many wanted him to, but he chose to walk away after 2 terms. That quiet power, restrained in the face of endless temptation, cemented his place in history not as a ruler, but as a servant leader. Closer to the east, consider Confucius, who taught that the superior man is modest in his speech but exceeds in his actions. He believed virtue was a cornerstone of true influence, not wealth, not title, but virtue. Even in pop culture, we admire the strong silent types. In The Lord of the Rings, it wasn't the boastful Boromir who bore the bird of the ring, but Frodo, the humble, unassuming hobbit. In Black Panther, Chala's leadership was rooted not in domination, but in compassion and restraint. Why is this relevant today? Because we live in a world that rewards visibility over value. You post an accomplishment, people praise you. You flex success, people follow you. But what happens when your external image outweighs your inner strength? Collapse. The burnout epidemic, toxic work cultures, cancel culture. These are symptoms of a world that lifts up loud voices without always examining their depth. In such an environment, those who choose virtue, patience, and responsibility seem slow or outdated, but they are the ones who last. They are the ones who carry the heaviest loads without breaking. The real meaning of leadership and strength. True greatness isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. Like a tree that grows deep roots before showing its height, or the ocean that holds power in silence, greatness often hides in plain sight. Let me tell you one of the best modern examples. Nelson Mandela. After 27 years in prison, he emerged not with vengeance, but with a commitment to peace. He carried the weight of a fractured nation, not with noise, but with virtue. Or think of Warren Buffett, one of the world's richest men, still living in the same modest house, still choosing principle over performance. Why? Because he knows wealth without wisdom is a danger. How can we cultivate virtue in our lives? It's not just a moral idea. It's practical. Here's how. 1. Resist the need to prove yourself constantly. You don't need to announce every win. Instead, let your results speak. Silence has more power than 1,000 words when your actions align with your values. 2. Build inner strength before external success. Focus on character, patience, kindness, integrity. Like a strong foundation, these qualities ensure you don't collapse under pressure. 3. Learn from setbacks instead of blaming others. Virtuous people take responsibility. They don't shift blame. This makes them stronger after every fall, not weaker. 4. Lead by lifting others, not standing over them. True leaders create more leaders. They don't compete for the spotlight. They share it. 5. Choose long-term value over short-term gain. It's tempting to cut corners, chase fame, or cash in fast. But those who carry great things, like the earth, move slow, steady, and sure. The earth carries all things, yet says nothing. If you remember only one thing from this video, let it be this. Lao Tzu once said, "The highest virtue is like water. It nourishes all but never fights for status." The next time you feel the pressure to prove, to shout, to outshine, pause. Ask yourself, do I want to be a spark or a legacy? Because sparks are loud but brief. Legacies, like the earth beneath us, are silent but eternal. Ask yourself, when was the last time I acted from ego instead of virtue? Who do I admire that embodies silent strength, and why? What do I want to be able to carry in life? And what kind of character must I build to hold it? Remember this. It's not the noise you make, but the strength you carry that defines your true power. Let's choose to build virtue so we can carry the weight of greatness, quietly, gracefully, and forever. Don't forget to subscribe our channel, like, and share the video. May you soon discover your true direction in life.